Greetings, beautiful souls out there, in there, or wherever you reside. Today's video is going to be entitled, The Depth of You. What do I mean, the depth of you? Well, really, what I'm referring to is, in this day and age, in 2017, we are in the emotional depths of the human. The idea that in this now moment that there's many reflections of us at any given moment, and at every given moment there's a reflection of the individual who's perceiving it. And if in this moment you desire to have an amplification process, or if you desire your life to be manifesting in the direction that you prefer, I'll give you a little tip to do this, to how I've done it personally myself, my own reality. I've took my life from a basement dwelling, I did a 180, if you will. And how I did this, going from destitution to total manifestation, was simply a realization within me. The moment that I looked in my life at the things that are happening, I looked at them as they are coming through me. I had to agree to participate in said idea. And so, when you look at the different things in your life, not as problems, not as issues or anything of the sort, but you look at them as pieces of you, pieces of who you are, a fractal of your bigger whole. And the sooner that you allow yourself to perceive you within that thing, the faster you allow that thing to manifest or to go. Because you see, the more you see yourself in the things that you do, the more the things that you do are you. It's not done from a nervous perspective. It's not done from an anxious way. If you allow yourself in every given moment, or at least even one moment in the day, allow the liberty to know that you are all the things that you are interacting with on a different level. And if you allow yourself this notion to know that you and the thing that you're touching, interacting with, are synonymous, they're the same thing. And the sooner you allow yourself to see the connection, the faster it gives you the benefit, if you will. Because the more you get hung up on the details of certain ideas, you literally will go from this peg to that peg to this peg to this peg to this peg, this peg, this peg. In a linear fashion, you're going to go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And sometimes you won't even envelop the step you're on. So you're just constantly blindly going through this when you don't look at life in this perspective. At least in my experience. The very second that I seen me in everything that I do, the more that I have love for these things, the more these things show love to me right back. Because what you put out is what you get back. This is one of the laws of creation. It's not a breakable law by no means. What you put out is what you get back. This is a governing law of creation. So remember, when you're putting out and you're emitting and broadcasting the notion that you insist on seeing yourself within these things, the doors blow wide open for you to learn the lessons that is to be learned in every given moment, in any given moment. Because You are all that is. You are any moment. You are every moment. You have to remind yourself this. Remember this in your heart. Because what this does, this lights a fire within your heart, within your pumping muscle in your chest. It gives you guidance. It gives you clarity. It gives you direction. So, my beautiful friends, when you allow yourself to look at these things as lessons, as gifts, that's what they are. That's what they present themselves as. But the very second you define it otherwise, that's the way it will be defined and will be presented. If you define it to be negative and separative and segregative, then that's exactly what you're going to experience. Your definitions is the foundation of who you are. You cannot have a life if you don't believe to be so anyways. So remember, how are you defining your life right now? If you're having issues in your life, and the speed of the manifestation in your life, or the manifestation period, is just static, non-moving, just not going nowhere, ask yourself, what definitions do you have in place to keep these things at bay? Because you are innate. The beautiful things in your life are always trying to find you. It's just, what definition have you built up to keep this stuff away? And open your ears and listen to your heart. Feel into your heart. This has a silver cord that is connected to your existence in other forms, in other places, in other directions, in other energies. So as I always say, my beautiful, beautiful star family, you must always think with your heart. You must always listen to that heart. And you must always live through that sucker, because it's your guiding light. Because we are light. And when you get in touch with your heart space, that sacred space in your heart, it reminds you that you are the love light. You are the light love. Because that's the bedrock of creation. Because loving energy is always connective. Connecting. Unifying. Bringing things together. If you look today in all kinds of annals of documentation through NASA and SpaceX and all kinds of these other programs, you would find that our galaxy, our cosmos, is getting bigger. It's not separating and segregating and getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. No, it's getting larger and larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. It never stops. The only time it stops is when you use your definitions to stop them. But it's just a definitional thing. So in closing, my dear friends, may you all have a beautiful and creative day. I love you.